guys, it's Jimmy Maverick. Hey, welcome to another Best Ball draft. I gotta say, I really enjoy Best Ball. The draft is always the favorite part of me of the fantasy season for me. So I do a ton of them. I don't have to manage these teams during the course of the season, which is really nice as well. I do have my managed teams as well. I do have a couple of high stakes leagues and a friends league and stuff like that. But anyway. This is we're going with the best ball strategy that we've been laying out during the course of the off season here. This is the time when you should be doing your best ball drafts, based on advance rates, the later you draft, the better your chances are in best ball. It's because you avoid the players getting injured and all that sort of stuff. So this is the time to do it, man. If you're going to do best ball, this is the time to do it. But anyway, the draft went very well. Got my stacks with my quarterbacks and really good running back core. I'm really happy with the running backs I ended up with. Josh Jacobs and who was my second? Oh, Zamir White. Those are my 1-2. So that was really great. But anyway, watch the draft. Let me know what you think. And go check out the app, 16 Rounds Plus. It's really going to help you in your drafts this season. It's got a special best ball mode as well as modes for your managed teams. Just go to 16roundsplus.com. Check it out. You can sign up for a free limited version of the app. And if you like it, you can subscribe. Very reasonable. You can use it in all your drafts, as I do. It's a really great guide. It really helps you out in a live draft situation. So I'm going to show you how it works right here. So thank you very much. Let's do this. All right, friends, we are going to do a best ball draft right now. Just waiting for one final person to come in here, and then we'll see where I slot in on the draft board. We're going to utilize the best ball strategy that we've been utilizing this whole season here, that we've been refining, and I'm just going to review it real quick here. So 5 of your first 7 picks are going to be wide receivers, and we're going to make sure we get the wide receiver ones on those teams. The other 2 players, we either want 2 running backs or we want an elite quarterback or an elite tight end with a running back, okay? I usually go, given that this is a half-point PPR best ball, I'm typically going for an elite quarterback with a running back. I get the tight end later. We want to stack up. We want 3 to 5 players stacked with our starting quarterbacks. Okay, so it looks like it's going to go right here. We also want to make sure we get the optimal number of players in each position. 2 to 3 tight ends, 2 to 3 quarterbacks, 5 to 6 running backs, the remainder wide receivers. That's kind of the goals that we're going with here. And we're going to utilize my app. We're going to utilize 16 Rounds Plus to help us pick players. And I've got it loaded up here on the right side of the screen. And it has a special best ball mode. All right. And so let's see. Where did I place here? Where am I on the draft board? 11th. Okay, so we're picking towards the end. All right, that works. And so we're going to utilize, you got to answer 3 questions. How did your league score points? Best ball rules. That's what we're going to do. Do you want to engage the counselor's recommended player filters? No, I want to see all the players. And then we will put in here that we are in a 12 team. We are picking 11th. Let's go ahead and enter draft mode. And so what this does is this breaks down the top 250 list based on the size of our league, our draft position, and it puts the players into pods. So when we're looking at the first and second pick, that's all our pick. That's all the players between pick 11 and our second round pick, which I believe is 35. Oh, wait, that's not what I want. Let's see here. 35, right. So there's going to be a little bit of overlap on each side. You can see here that it is recommending for us to take Mike Evans, Chris Olave, Isaiah Pacheco with our first pick. You can also see here that Bijan Robinson, A.J. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall are all long shots to make it to us, and they are the highest rated players on this round. So we'll see who makes it to us. And I'm also just going to set up the draft board here so we can look at that. I'm going to move my draft board off to the side here. So I'm going to be utilizing that, and I'm going to be utilizing the queue. So if I'm going to put on right here, Breece Hall, AJ Brown, Garrett Wilson, and it looks like Bijan is already gone. He is already gone. I figured he was not going to make it to us. We can see here, there is Mike Wilson, Chris Olave. A little early for me to take Mike Evans here. I mean, I know where he's going on the board, but Chris Olave, Isaiah Pacheco, get him on the list. I do really like Isaiah Pacheco, although I'm not sure. These guys are kind of out of position for where I am drafting. And so I'm not sure if I'm going to really go off board like that. Jahmyr Gibbs is also on the board here. It's almost to us. Drake London, who I do like. Derrick Henry, who I do like. These guys are more in position for me to get them. Also, we can go, and it's almost to me. There's Saquon Barkley. There's Josh Allen as a reach. I do not want to take him. Marvin Harrison, obviously, an option there as well. And it is almost to us. Surprisingly, A.J. Brown is still on the board. That's why I like to use the Q. And look at that. He made it to me. Fantastic. Wow. That's amazing. A.J. Brown right here near the top, one of my top-rated players, just below Bijan Robinson. I cannot pass on A.J. Brown. And that also gives me the inside track to take Jalen Hurts in a little bit. All right. So we got our A.J. Brown. Let's see here. Jahmyr Gibbs, Puka Nacua comes off. So we do have Marvin Harrison, Drake London. I could also potentially take Cooper Kupp, but you know what? I am gonna go. Let's see here. I'm gonna go Drake London here. Now I do know that Drake London is a little bit of a risk. Just because he's never really done anything, but he's never had a good quarterback, he's never had a good coach, blah, blah, blah. Things should be better this year. He should be Kirk Cousins' #1 target. Also, again, part of the goal here, these top 5 wide receivers that we're taking in the first 7 rounds, we want to be able to target those quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins, easy quarterback to get. So I really, really like that. And I would like to get my top 3 wide receivers. I would like to pair them with their quarterback. So right now we're talking Hurts and we're talking Kirk Cousins. So, we got a little gap here till the next round. So let's go click to the next round, round 3 and 4. Who's it recommending? Josh Jacobs, Rachaad White, Travis Kelce. We got some good options here. These are actually really good options. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put Travis Kelce on there. Let's see here. Who else is listed here? But these other guys don't have good value. See, Trey McBride, bad. Dalton Kincaid, bad. Their value. Sam Laporta, poor. See, that's the problem. This isn't just a half PPR league. So the only player that rates good for value is Travis Kelce. So he would definitely be a consideration, again, as one of those 2 players picking in the first 7 rounds. Although going with him and then probably taking Hurts, probably not great. And see, if we want to take Hurts, we're going to have to take him on the next round here. So I'm definitely going to put Hurts on there just to get him on the board. The other guys, I'm not really worried about, given that I got A.J. Brown. Hurts is my target. Let's look at running backs. So running backs, we got Josh Jacobs. We got Rachaad White. We got Kenneth Walker. We got Travis Etienne. And all these guys, see the Cuddy score right here, this is how we rate all the players, is on a Cuddy score. If they got a green circle around their Cuddy score, that's a recommend, right? So Joe Mixon, that's a recommend. But then you got like James Cook, risky pick. Not really interested in risky picks, especially this early. Plus he's a reach. That's a guy you could take later. But these are the targets here. And then for wide receivers, we've got Zay Flowers. Of course, that would open the door for us to want to take, Lamar Jackson. Not really sure I'm interested in that. I'm really going whole hog here on Hurts. That's who I want to get. Let's see here. We've got Pittman, who is also a great choice. Ridley, fantastic choice. Really like, I do very much like Ridley. Where are you, Ridley? There you are, Ridley. Jordan Reed, who I've cooled off a little bit on. A little bit bigger on Dobbs right now, but I have taken a ton of Reed in these drafts. We got Metcalf. Let's see here, Metcalf. We got Pickens, and Amari Cooper. So we got tons of options, and that's the whole thing. I'm just loading up my board. I got 15 players in the queue right now. Obviously, I'm going to get some of them. We'll just see what happens here and see who maybe falls. Right now, Pacheco, Henry, still on the board. And then I got Kelce and Hurts. Hurts, I will have to take in the 4th round. I will have to take him in the 4th if I want him. Actually, where is he rated here as far as Hurts goes? It's telling me, yeah, pick 40 overall. So to be safe, I could take him in the third, but I think he'll make it to the fourth. There's only one guy between me and the fourth round pick, so I should be able to get him, no problem. But I would be interested if Pacheco or Henry makes it to me in the third. I'll take one of them because I really like those guys. Then I grab Hurts in the fourth. We'll bypass Travis Kelce. But that's kind of how we're working. And so one of the things that I get all the time in the draft is how do I mark off players as they come off the board? And because the app is forward looking, you don't really need to do that. When I'm in round 3 and 4, all the players before pick 35, almost all the players from before pick 35 are off the board. They're already off. And if you scroll to the bottom of the page, let me just show you here. You'll see remove players. These are all the players that should already be gone by the time it gets to us. So you can see Pacheco, he's off the board, right? He's probably not going to make it to us. But if he does make it to us, we can restore him. So you see the undo button there? Just click undo. That puts Isaiah Pacheco back on the list, and it slots him according to his Cuddy score. So where does he rank on the Cuddy score? Well, he's right here. He's right near the top. Very highly rated. There are some guys that are ranked ahead of him. Jacobs, Rachaad White, Kenneth Walker. But, I really like Pacheco. I would totally take him. Again, Cuddy score is fantastic. It's a moot point. He's off the board, but you don't really need to track the players as they come off the board. You got your queue. So you got all the old players that you liked from the prior round. And if they make it to you, you want to select them. Henry's still on the board, by the way. I'd be jazzed if Henry makes it to me. But no, and it doesn't happen. He's off the board. So I've got other options here for running back. And I think third round, I do love taking a running back in the third round. They're still really great players. And so Josh Jacobs, Rachaad White, Kenneth Walker, Travis Etienne, Joe Mixon. Who's the highest rated player? Josh Jacobs. Love Green Bay. Love the offense. He was dealing with a groin injury, but he is fine now. So I'm cool with going with Josh Jacobs as my RB1. I think he's going to be fantastic. He was the number one RB 2 years ago under massive usage. Then he regressed last year, as I expected him to do. With that sort of a workload, if you're not Derrick Henry, you're going to regress. But now everything about his situation is upgraded. Better offensive line, better offense, better quarterback, better weapons around him. He is going to thrive in this offense. And as far as his competition, A.J. Dillon, who's a non-factor, and you got the new guy, why am I drawing a blank on his name? Who has not been doing great. Okay, so it's back to us. So let's go ahead. We're going to get our stack. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown. That is freaking awesome. I love that. We've already stacked our number one receiver with our number one quarterback. That's exactly the way I like to do it. We're going to get ourselves 3 more wide receivers before we pivot back to running backs, okay? So let's go to the next round. And we're just going to focus specifically on wide receivers, but it is recommending in the 5th, 6th round, Rachaad White, Kenneth Walker, C.J. Stroud. So those are all decent options here. If we had waited, that's what we could have looked at targeting, but we want to get ourselves wide receivers. So we've got ourselves Deontay Johnson. We got ourselves Brian Thomas. Let's see here. Brian Thomas. We got ourselves Keon Coleman, and this is what usually happens is I end up stacking rookies here with the typically the 6th and 7th pick. Xavier Worthy. Let's see here. Xavier Worthy. Chris Godwin is a risky pick, and he's not a 1. But Ladd McConkey, do like Ladd McConkey. And again, every wide receiver that we take, we want to be able to stack them with a quarterback. So, again, Kirk Cousins is our target. If we take Calvin Ridley, we'd want to get Will Levis, right? If we go with George Pickens, we want to get Russell Wilson. If we go with Amari Cooper, we want to get Russell Wilson. Not Russell Wilson. Man, I'm not doing good with the quarterbacks today. Deshaun Watson, that's who I'm thinking of here. So it looks like we got a run on quarterback. So we got our quarterback. I'm perfectly happy with that. The other elite guys coming off here in the 4th round. If you want one of these elite guys, this is when you have to take him. But the only way I would take him is if I could stack him with their number 1 target, right? Josh Allen's kind of nice because you could stack him with Keon Coleman later. Patrick Mahomes, you can stack him with, I don't think Rashee Rice. No, Rashee Rice just came off the board here. But you'd want to stack him with, like, if you took Travis Kelce, take Patrick Mahomes. If you took Zay Flowers or Mark Andrews, you'd want to stack him with Lamar Jackson. That's not happening here with these other guys. There's no stacks here, which is kind of a waste. But you want to get the number 1 receiver of the quarterbacks you select, and by focusing on wide receivers early, you're going to have that ability to do that. And the reason we focus so heavily on wide receivers is just look at the board. Look at how many wide receivers have come off the board here. Best ball, very heavy wide receivers. In this particular league, you got to start 3 plus a flex. So you want to have yourself loaded up with really good wide receiver talent for your team. So it is getting close back to us here, but I've got tons of options. Ridley, Pickens, Johnson, Brian Thomas, Keon Coleman, Xavier Worthy, Ladd McConkey, all these guys are still on the board. Let's see here. Are there any other ones? If we wanted to go a little bit riskier, Keenan Allen, who does not rate well, but he is a 1. He's an older player. App doesn't like him. App says don't draft, right? So I'm kind of steering clear of Keenan Allen. I haven't taken a whole lot of shares of him. But some of these other guys, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Romo Dunze, Terry McLaurin, Marquise Brown, these guys don't rate well, and some of them are dealing with injuries, and some of them have bad quarterbacks or rookie quarterbacks. I want to stay away from that. But we've got so many options here. We're totally fine. We're doing great. So hopefully 4 picks to us. This does go our way. If we were looking at quarterbacks this round, this is where we'd want to target C.J. Stroud, Jordan Love as a reach. So Jordan Love might be available on the next set of picks. Kyler Murray here, if you want to take him. He ranks as a risky pick for me. Lots of upside, but durability risk and kind of bad value here. So he's kind of getting overdrafted a little bit. But certainly if you wanted to go with Marvin Harrison, target Kyler Murray, you'd have to target him in the 5th round. This is when you'd want to take him. 5th, early 6th here, based on where we're picking on the draft board, because that's when he's going to go off. So you can see Anthony Richardson just came off. We did expect him to be gone by this point. And it's 1 pick to us. Ridley's still there. Yes. Okay. Awesome. So Ridley made it to us. Also, Pickens is still there. Xavier Worthy's there. I'm killing it. We're gonna get, so we get Levis and Kirk Cousins, and we already got Jalen Hurts as our quarterbacks. This team's going to be rocking. Okay, so we're in really good shape here. It's coming around. We'll see what this guy does. Pickens is right at the top of the board, so I'm not sure if this is going to go our way, but we'll see. If Pickens makes it, I would certainly take him. After him, I would take Deontay Johnson. That also gives us an option to take Bryce Young if somehow we get sniped on either. Okay, so Pickens went. But all right, so let's see here. So we are in really good shape here. This is looking really good. I really like this build so far. This guy's taking his full 30 seconds, going to make me sweat as to who he's going to take. I have not taken any Xavier Worthy. That could be an interesting take here. I mean, obviously, I can't pair him with the quarterback. Mahomes is already gone, but I do like the options. Oh, and look at that. He took Xavier Worthy, so that just solves it for me. I'm going to take Deontay Johnson here. So, again, I still have multiple quarterback stacks available to me. All my wide receivers have their quarterbacks available. So that's what I want. So let's go to the 7th and 8th round. And again, we're going to get one more wide receiver, probably a rookie. It's probably going to be a rookie. So we'll see who makes it to us. So let's just look at the wide receivers. So wide receiver Romeo Doubs is an option here. And Dobbs has been rising on the draft board. Jackson Smith and Jigba is here as a risky pick and a long shot, so he's not expected to make it to us. Josh Palmer is another decent choice. We got Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton, I think, actually is a pretty decent choice as well. But it looks like we're going to have to target them kind of early. Yeah, these guys are all kind of way out of position. They're usually around, all these guys are around pick 100, which we would have to take in the 80s. Not really thrilled about that. Hopefully one of these, either Brian Thomas, Keon Coleman, or Ladd McConkey, will make it to us on our next pick. We'll see what happens. Let's see here. Who else is there? Khalil Shakir. Khalil Shakir for Buffalo, who is not a 1. So that's, but I like him as a best ball player. He's a good best ball player. Likewise, Rashid Shaheed. That's another one. And these guys are all after pick 100. So I'm not sure I really want to take these guys because they would not make it to my next round of picks. So that's something to consider here, right? We'll have to deal with that when it happens. But we do need to pivot back to running backs. We do need to get a running back. Zamir White is a long shot. I would absolutely take him if he's available. Where are you, Zamir? Why am I not seeing you? There you are. Zamir White, Tyjae Spears. Not really thrilled with taking him as my 2. I don't really like that. Gus Edwards, who I've taken a ton of. I do like Gus Edwards. I think he's a good, solid choice here on a run-first offense. So I've got a lot of shares of Gus. Javonte Williams, that's actually a really good choice. I kind of like going with him. Contract year for the player, so I do like that. There's a lot of competition in that backfield, but he does appear to be the favorite. He does appear to be the one, so that's really good. Jonathan Brooks, who I have not taken any shares of because, again, I don't like injured players, and I don't like players coming back from a major season-ending injury. ACL tear like Jonathan Brooks has. So I've basically been staying away from him. We got Swift as a risky pick. Blake Corum is here as a reach, and Zach Moss. These are guys I'm a little cooler on, but they could be good here. So Zach Moss and Blake Corum. Blake will have his opportunities, but I just don't want to take Blake as a 2, right? I don't want him as my 2. Then we got Tony Pollard, risky. Brian Robinson, no. Chase Brown, risky. I'll put Chase Brown on there. I would take a chance on him. He's been looking pretty good in the preseason here. But Aaron Jones, no. James Conner, no. Raheem Mostert, no. All right, we don't like any of those guys. So it's coming back to us. Some more quarterbacks have come off the board. But all my rookies are still there, man. They're all still sitting there. Oh, Brian Thomas just came off. That's a bummer. I would like to get more shares of Brian Thomas in my leagues, but we'll see what happens here. As far as quarterbacks go, if you're going to wait till now to take a quarterback, for the 7th, 8th round, looks like Jordan Love got taken early because Jordan Love is here at the top of the list. But Jaden Daniels, Dak Prescott, Kyler Murray's a long shot. I believe he's gone. Yeah, he's already gone. Joe Burrow. So we've got, this is when you'd want to target these players, right? This is when Keon Coleman comes up. Okay, so we might not be able to get our rookies. So we'll see if Ladd makes it to me. He might make it to us. We'll see. Rome Odunze comes off. Looking at the board right now, you got Hollywood Brown right at the top, Ladd McConkey, Jameson Williams, Curtis Samuel, getting closer. But if Ladd comes off, geez, I don't really want to wait till next round to take a wide receiver. I do need to grab one, and so I could probably just take like Romeo Doubs or something like that. It's a 50-50 shot right now, 50-50. Let's see what happens. Ah, damn, he took the wrong one. Jeez. All right. Okay, I really do need to take a running back, and I need to take a wide receiver. So I'm going to take Doubs because Doubs appears to be the one. So he would be my 5th. So that's pretty good. Obviously, I can't pair him with Jordan Love. Jordan Love's already gone, but that's okay because I still got the other 3 guys that I can pair up. And then I will probably go with Zamir if the 12th guy doesn't take him. So we'll see what happens here. Jaylen Warren's also right here. Warren actually kind of fell. He suffered a hamstring injury that really that really hurt his value. All right. So he took Hollywood Brown. All right. Don't take Zamir. Don't take him. Don't. Psych. And he's going to make me wait the full 30 seconds. Look at this guy. Look at this guy making me wait. Okay, he took a quarterback. Great. All right, so I will take Zamir White, who I really like as my 2. So that's a solid choice. So I've got Josh Jacobs and Zamir White as my running backs. I've got A.J. Brown, Drake London, Calvin Ridley, Deontay Johnson, and Romeo Doubs as my wide receivers. I got Jalen Hurts as our QB1, so we're in great shape. We're looking really good here. But this is basically how the app works, man. It's just like a little tool that you keep off to the side, and it just offers you suggestions and lets you know who you need to target on what rounds, when you need to target those players, and it's pretty good at estimating when you need to take a player, when you need to have that player on your radar. So that's very helpful. And I invite you to go to the website. Go to 16roundsplus.com. You can sign up for check out a free limited version of the app. If you like it, you can subscribe, unlock all the features. It's really great. And again, it does have the special best ball mode, which has special ratings and criteria for players in best ball mode. All right. So thank you very much for watching this today. I hope you liked it. We're going to follow up and let you know how we ended up with our quarterbacks. And anyway, I will be back to discuss that in a few. All right, guys. So the draft actually went very well for me. Ended up with a really nice running back core. And I did end up getting Kirk Cousins in the 12th round, which was fantastic. That was a fantastic deal there. But then when I circled back to the 13th, 14th pick, that was where I would needed to have taken Will Levis. So I said, I didn't want to take Will Levis that early, especially since I just got Kirk Cousins. I wanted to wait a little bit later. And so I'm like, okay, I'll just wait for Bryce Young. And of course, even though it was way before ADP, my next pick, Bryce Young also went before I got to my 14th and 15th round pick, I guess. The 14th and 15th round pick. So that was a little bit disappointing. But what I ended up doing is I got Demario Douglas in the 13th round, and then I grabbed Drake May in the 17th round, and then I doubled up the stack with Javon Baker in the 18th round. So I did get another stack there, but that does give me 4 players stacked with their quarterbacks, so that's great. I got myself 3 tight ends, 3 quarterbacks, 5 running backs, and then the remainder, I believe it's 7 wide receivers. So this is a great team, very strong. I'm very confident in this team going into this year. So it turned out very well. So let me know what you think. What do you think about my picks early on? Again, this strategy is a little bit different than what you would do in a traditional managed league. There are certain things you don't need to worry about, like consistency in this sort of league. So players that I would never take in a managed league are perfectly fine taking here. I ended up taking Isaiah Likely as a tight end, because he's going to get some touchdowns. And that's what I want. I want him to, have those spike weeks. And when he gets those spike weeks, he'll be in my starting lineup. So that was pretty good as my 3rd tight end. I got him as my 3rd tight end. But overall, very strong team. Projections, very good on this team for the upcoming year. So I do like that. And anyway, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Like I said, if you haven't done so already, go to the website. Go to 16roundsplus.com. That's where you'll find the app. Again, it does have the special mode for best ball, but it also has modes for PPR, half PPR, standard, tight end premium, which again is another list that's a little unusual because tight ends earn 1.5 points per reception. So that moves them up the board, moves other players down. It lets you know strategically where you need to draft those players. And anyway, thank you very much. Have yourself a great day, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the week.